My name is Maria Jimenez Portaz. I'm the European Project Manager at the CTA. CTA, the Technological Corporation of Andalusia, is the organizer of this presentation that is titled Case to Boost the Short Food Supply Chains, and it's organized in the framework of the agroBRIDGES project. This is going to be divided in 4 different sections. First of all, we are going to give you an overview of the agroBRIDGES project. After that, we are going to discuss some short food supply chain goals to be achieved and some lessons learned that will be explained by my colleague Nathalie Chabrier, followed by a presentation of my colleague Carlos Garcia that will speak about support for food procurement. And we are going to finalize this session with an open discussion, and we encourage all of you to participate on this. So this agroBRIDGES project is an Horizon 2020 project with a duration of 36 months. We are now in the end of the project. We have the collaboration of 15 different partners from the European countries, as you can see in this map. And the aim of this project is to improve the local producers market and decrease intermediaries margin. How? By promoting the short food supply chains. And why are so important these short food supply chains? Because they have many benefits and they are a key economic and social and environmental keys in all the value chain of the agri-food sector. Why? Because they help us to rebalance the market position of farmers and increase their income, to better connect farmers with consumers and reduce these intermediaries, also help us to meet the societal demand of providing safe and quality local food, and of course, reducing the environmental impact of the agriculture. So what was the aim to be achieved by this agroBRIDGES project? First of all, and as we said, to empower farmers with some practical knowledge, also giving them delivered decision support tools to facilitate the selection of the more sustainable business models to be adopted for animating short food supply chains, offering them also a combination of communication materials, some training programs, also some events, guidelines, and of course, we will see some digital tools that are packaged in the agroBRIDGES toolbox. And finally, and this is a really innovative result, is to establish a regional and international multi-actor framework for stakeholders driving development, testing, validation, and the rollout of the agroBRIDGES project results. So now, just for giving you some numbers, general numbers, we are 12 different regions across Europe that are implied in this project. This helps us to increase the number of farms that are involved in the project and in all activities, and also in the direct sales to consumers. We have developed and carried out 24 different events, regional and national events for building these short food supply chains with the cooperation of more than 400 agri-food stakeholders, and also 2 other events, European events, one of them carried out last week in the framework of the Fruit Attraction Fair, one of the most important agri-food fairs around Europe, and also another one that you are attending today, the trainers that it's taking place already now. Also, we have developed 36 practice atlas to help the whole stakeholder to understand what was developed and to explain them the main results. And finally, and what is the core of this project, are 12 digital tools that are collected in the agroBRIDGES toolbox and that we will see during the whole presentation. So now this toolbox is open. You can register in the website, as you can see here, and you can use it then for free. We have 12 practical tools, fully translated in 12 European languages, and you can access them using this link, and we are going to share the link also in the chat. Okay, so we have 4 different tools: the digital tools, the communication material, the training material, and the event organization. Okay. And who is it for? Well, we have 6 different groups that are the target of these tools. First of all, of course, the producers and farmers. of course, also the consumers, but also these tools are focused on help to the agri-food industry, to distributors, retailers, and wholesalers, public bodies and food procurers, and finally to hospitality businesses and HoReCa. So now that you have more or less a overview and a general idea about the agroBRIDGES project, now I'm going to give the turn to my colleague Nathalie Chabrier, that is going to explain in more detail what are the main goals to be achieved and how are related to this toolbox. So Nathalie, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you and to have you in this session. So as Maria explained before, we have developed 12 tools, and now what I'm going to do is just to explain to you why we developed these tools, to give a solution to some of the challenges that implies the implementation of short food supply chain. And what I'm going to explain to is to just give you an idea of the lesson we learn when we validate all this agroBRIDGES toolbox. So just to start. Oh, I have a problem to go on. Can you? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So the first challenges we want to solve with this toolbox is to increase the raising farmer awareness about the short food supply chain. We thought that it was very important to make farmers to be inspired and motivated about what is short food supply chain and give them some idea of other success cases of short food supply chain that we identified along Europe. So for that, we make a description of the success cases, and all this description is available in the tool called Yes, You Can. And what we learn from this validation of this tool is that there are many success stories in Europe regarding short food supply chain implementation, but they are not known. So they can be taken, all this example as example, and can be replicated. So let me give you an example of some success case that we identified in Spain. We identify a company called Bio Alverde. This is a non-profit company with a specific aim to integrate people with the risk of social exclusion. And this company is producing and selling organic fresh products. And the thing that is very interesting in this case is that they sell the product and they boost the implementation of short food supply chain because they work in collaboration with other farmers in a very narrow collaboration. They create some initiative, so a local market, they have their own e-commerce shop, etc. and so on. So we think that it's a very good example of what a company, a farmer can do or to implement a short food supply chain. Another very important issue to raise the farmer awareness about short food supply chain is to make them select which kind of channels they want to use to implement the short food supply chain. As you know, there's a lot of channels such as community support agriculture, online trading, retail trading. So for that, we develop a specific tool. This is a self-assessment tool to make the farmer choose which kind of channel could be the best for their idea, for the implementation of the short food supply chain. This tool is a decision support tool. And what we learn validating this tool is that for the trading in agri-food product, through short food supply chain is still closely linked to traditional methods. And there is a clear need to digitalize the sector and optimize the sale, the marketing, and all the processes. The second challenges we identify and try to give an answer through our agroBRIDGES toolbox is to improve the farmer marketing and communication skills. we thought that it was very important to make farmers using modern marketing standards to give visibility, competitiveness to their business, and to make them improve their communication skills using branding, key message, storytelling, etc., etc. So for that, we had two specific tools. One tool is YM Special, when you have a description of how to be a unique selling point identification. And another tool is regarding is a specific social media guide for farmers under the hashtag We Need Local Food to help them to use social media. And what we learned validating this tool is that farmer skills program on business, on communication and technology are still needed at local level. And another thing is that if you want to develop technology tools or skill, you have to be aware of the level of technology of the farmer in order to make a tool on the same level as their knowledge. We have to make tools easy to use and friendly for them to make sure that they can adopt it. The third challenges to overcome with our agroBRIDGES toolbox is to raise consumer awareness about short food supply chain, to make consumer understanding what are the short food supply chain, where are they, what kind of benefits they have, not only economical or environmental benefit, but nutritional too, and to try to make consumer and especially kids to change their habits regarding the consumption of local food. For that, we develop a specific guide and webinar, specific content with a specific section for kids and teacher. And this tool is called Know Your Local Food. What we learn validating this tool is that there's a great lack of knowledge about local food and all benefits that local food can bring to consumer, maybe the most important benefit that can bring this food is the benefit for health that is not very known by consumer. The fourth challenges to overcome with agroBRIDGES toolbox is to increase consumer engagement with food systems. We think that's very important to engage consumer, to make consumer and producer made, to make consumer use social media most promotion, to make consumer express their need, the market needs, to shape the market in order to implement a short food supply chain in a success way. So for that, we develop three specific tools. One tool is regarding there's a specific section for consumer needs in the tools Hear My Voice. We develop another kind of tool to help to organize community-based events in Let's Meet event tool. And then we develop a guide to explain how to make a social media campaign under the hashtag We Need Local Food. What we learn from the validation of those tools is that a producer and consumer, both of them, play a very significant role in the implementation of short food supply chain. They have to be collected and they have to collaborate in the local food system to make the short food supply chain to be implemented in a successful way. And another lesson learned from those tools, the validation of those tools, is that the success short food supply chain implementation is based on its local dimension. So it's very important to engage stakeholders at local level to be successful in the implementation of short food supply chain. The fifth challenge is regarding the improvement of transparency through short food supply chain. We thought it was very important to make all stakeholders of the short food supply chain to use a clear labeling, to use a labeling to make the product different from other products to improve the traceability of their products, and of course to be sure that those products can fulfill with all the European regulation regarding safety. So for that, we develop a guide for labeling. This tool is called Label Me. And what we learn when we validate this tool is that labeling can provide a very great add value with a minimum effort. But a lot of producers are not aware of that. So it's very important to promote the use of label. Another thing we learn is that maybe the use of labeling has to be encouraged by local or authority level. The 6 challenges to overcome with our agroBRIDGES toolbox is to improve logistic and process innovation in food supply. So for that, we create a specific, we create in a tool, agroBRIDGES Net, a specific space to make stakeholders the possibility to exchange offer and demand regarding the sharing of facility and infrastructures. And in the tool Hear My Voice, there is another specific place to make stakeholders to exchange their idea about new business regarding short food supply chain. What we learned when we validated those tools is that maybe collaboration platforms are, as Netful, are one of the most attractive tools to make the short food supply chain happen. And another thing is that support to the local business ecosystem involving all stakeholders who add value to the local food value chain is required. The last challenges to overcome with our agroBRIDGES toolbox is to support cooperation, partnership, and collective action. We think that it's very important to boost business food ecosystem, to include in those ecosystems all the agri-food stakeholders, such as cooperative, food industry, retailer, and of course, some other channels such as HoReCa. For that, we had the specific tool to explain how to build, how to organize online B2B brokerage or matchmaking events. And the tool is called Let's Build Our Short Food Supply Chain. And what we learned from this, the validation of this tool is that online networking events were less successful than physical events, because agri-food stakeholders' relationships are based on trust, that they need a physical event to build this trust. Another issue regarding this challenge, we identified that it was very important to preserve and to make the evolution of local food culture, to make consumers aware about the local food culture, to make them organize event and activity to promote local food, and maybe to organize some initiative related to agritourism in order to increase benefit at local level and to make local food more stronger in the market. So for that, we have in the tool Let's Meet Even a specific section to explain how to build a community and to make awareness about the importance of local food. The lesson we learned from the validation of this tool is that physical event and demonstrative event are very relevant drivers to increase trust among stakeholders at local level and boost the implementation of short food supply chain. Another thing is that other lesson we learned is that some producers carry out very similar initiative at local level, but in many cases they are not properly promoted. So just to finish, I would like to give you some example of some events we organize during the agroBRIDGES project in order to validate our tool tools, agroBRIDGES tool. For instance, we organize in Spain producer events, specific market for organic food. In France, they organize the Local Heroes Day during the wine fair of Syrah. In Turkey, they organize a culinary event in the Saraya campus. And in Greece, they organize an open day with the American Farm School. So it's all from my side. Now we'll give the floor to my colleague, Carlos Garcia, who is going to explain you the support for food procurement.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and thanks for your excellent and clear presentation. No, I have taken some notes. I will be referring to when I will be making my speech. It is important, and I will try to anticipate one of my key messages in this respect. No, that even from the public sector and from the public buyer side, a new paradigm on a more collaborative approach in defining needs, in transmitting these needs to the marketplace, and to find out collaborative ways to set up public procurement schemes also for food procurement, and having account of short food supply chain are taking place. But it is also true that there's still much room for improvement. Okay, I will be touching on in the following slides. Okay. Yes, I'll try whether it works. Okay. What is the main objective of this part of the webinar? No. On the one hand, highlighting the opportunity from the procurer side, from the public buyer's side, to use short food supply chain as the main drivers for one of the emerging paradigms in the EU public procurement legislation. That is to say, the strategic role that public procurement is going to play in order to meet social, environmental, and innovation related objectives. Okay, so the current EC legislation allow for including this kind of criteria into public tenders and preempt somehow offers or proposals or bids that count on these new elements to be taken into consideration. And conversely, from the producer's side, it is important also to know that in this domain, and in many cases as the predominant part, public procurement accounts for the most in some specific market segments. So I will try in the following two or three slides to highlight the opportunities on the one hand, and also the main barriers to be overcome. Okay. First of all, I will try to give you an overview of which would be the main hurdles that short food supply must tackle in order to get the most out of this emerging, more favorable EU public procurement legislative context. First of all, we cannot address product origin as an award criteria directly, because it would contravene competition rules. Okay, so we have to find out some alternative ways to get away with it, and to express in other terms that will be acceptable to be included in a public tender. The first step to be borne in mind is that green procurement is, of course, a law. It is also promoted, as I mentioned beforehand, but we have to use it as contract performance clause, or an enabler for quality. So either we have to refer to green procurement or to green producers in the sense that they must be taken into consideration when the contract is implemented, but not as an award criteria, okay? Or alternative, we can also highlight how green procurement contribute to increase product quality, okay? In this sense, it is important to note that the current EU public procurement legislation stress the importance of using quality price provisions instead of only price main drivers in public procurement. So in this sense, there is an opportunity. The problem is, again, how to define quality, because it can vary from one place to another. There is no, in many cases, there is no such homogeneous definition of what is being meant by quality. And in this sense, it poses some difficulties. But as I will show you afterwards, there is an opportunity through some interactive dialogue with the public buyers tools that can help bridge this gap. Okay, one of another barrier to be taken into consideration is that the conventional public procurement tenders normally include SME detrimental specifications in terms of a very high budget or solvency criteria, which are deterrents from medium to small size actors. And also, it is an evidence, no, that this preparation or tender preparation can be comparative more costly for small actors than for big ones, no? And finally, as in any public procurement case, no, the tender paperwork matters, no, and in this sense, dealing with the specificities, no, of a contract tender procedure is time-consuming. Okay, but luckily there are ways to cope with all these barriers. I will be referring to later on. First of all, it is very important, and in this sense, this agroBRIDGES project goes in the right direction. It is necessary to increase awareness from the public buyer side and also increase their capacity, contribute to public buyers capacity building. The public sector tends to be conservative in terms of sticking to business as usual procedures, but in this sense, the current EU legislation allows for more innovative, more straightforward, more flexible ways of contracting. But in principle, they are also, or they cause some kind of fear, no, from the public buyer side, in the sense that since they are newly adopted procedure, they can be assumed as risky. So in this sense, giving comfort, assurance, no, and trying to create assurance mechanisms as to the efficiency and the effectiveness of these new procedures, it is also important, no? So again, producers education and training in order to have them more aware also of these new contract procedure opportunities and how to express in a proper way their value proposition to public buyers is also important, and it is also possible. And again, this is one of the main drivers of the agroBRIDGES project. One important factor is to give access as wide as possible to as many operators as possible. And in this sense, the deployment of electronic public procurement platforms is also important. Luckily, this is going to be more and more the usual place, but it is also important because otherwise it is very difficult for small actors to be informed on the opportunities that these invitations to tender can offer. Natalie has been also highlighting the importance of networking and also on the building up of an ecosystem, no? To facilitate exchange of best practices, experiences, and so forth. In this case, public buyers can also, and I would say should also be involved because it is also a way for them to be increasingly made familiar with this scheme. And as I will be mentioning further, okay, the current EU legislation allows for this kind of interactive dialogue even before the public tender is launched. Okay. Yes, this is the case, no? The market dialogue, or in a more technical expression, the open market consultation. This is a specific administrative procedure that can be used before launching a food procurement tender. This allows public buyers to know plenty of things. First of all, which are market capabilities. Secondly, whether there could be more innovative with a better quality price ratio offers from producers, particularly from small producers, which are niche producers and can go with a more favorable value proposition rather than big ones. So let's use market dialogue. It can be used, and it is also a good tool to raise confidence in public buyers before launching the IP tender. There are some newly emerging collaborative tendering processes. This is very important because in the traditional way, public tender documentation is closed. Okay, public buyers set up product specifications to be met. That's all. Okay. Perhaps they allow for some small-scale variants or improvements, but normally the technical specification of the tender are very restrictive. Now, the EC legislation allows for a shift from this conventional approach in terms of defining not product technical specification, but instead product qualities or product functionalities or product benefits. Okay, this gives far more room to introduce more ambitious value propositions in terms of more or healthier food products or more innovative in terms of experience, delivery conditions, and so forth. And finally, and this is compulsory in the EU legislation, okay? Public buyers must divide tenders into lots. And should it not be possible, they have to justify why, okay? You may imagine that dividing into lots is crucial because it allows, for the sake of solvency and the budget thresholds, small producers to be taken into account when launching this invitation to tenders. And also, this division into lots allow for using simplified procedure with less paper burden. Okay, so it is a key issue that can be also known by public buyers when launching this kind of bids. Okay, as it has been mentioned in the former interventions, quite a lot of material has been produced within the agroBRIDGES project, and in the specific case of support for food procurement. We have prepared a video. We have also produced some infographics, and we have also produced some technical guides adapted to the audience, both for public buyers with a more technical, let's say, administrative jargon, and for the producers with a more practical one. Okay, just to give you an overview. This is as a snapshot of the video. Okay, the essentials of food public procurement. It can be consulted within YouTube channels. This is the infographic in the case of public bodies, outlining how they can put in practice a sustainable short food supply chain public procurement scheme. Okay. This is the case for the producers, highlighting, as I mentioned before, the existence of new approaches taking into consideration environmental aspect, socially responsible aspect, and also innovation aspects, no, when addressing these procurement bids. So just this is my last slide. I say conclusion. What is really important is not stressing the fact that there would be short food supply chains, but instead what can offer short food supply chains in terms of improving quality, which is the key aspect of EU legislation, okay, in order to obtain the best quality price ratio in public tenders. And in this sense, there is clear room for operation of small producers in this respect, no? For example, by highlighting nutritional aspects, health aspects, taste, conservation, freshness of the products, no? Also delivery conditions, accessibility and availability throughout the whole year, no? And also aspects related to food consumption experience, gastronomy patterns, cultural patterns can be also used in the definition of this tender documentation, and do not contravene market competition. Okay, so it is important to address proximity short food supply chains indirectly, referring to quality, and also in this equation of quality price. In the end, transport costs matter in terms of price. So it is also an element to be taken into consideration when making more favorable calculations of quality price ratio for small producers. Sustainability, of course, it can and must be taken into consideration, but as a contract performance clause. It cannot be used as an award criteria because normally it has not a direct link to quality. Okay. For the public buyers, please use division into lots and simplified the simplified procedures. They do exist. They are perfectly legal. They can be adopted, especially when splitting up bigger contracts into smaller ones. And we have also got the opportunity of an interactive approach, not only a one-way dialogue between public buyers and producers. We can create community with this new EU legislation. We can co-design, we can co-develop new food supply, short food supply chain schemes together with public buyers. Through market dialogue, through collaborative contract award procedures like innovation partnership, for instance, okay, or the negotiated procedures. So please use them because they are an opportunity. Okay, so these are my main conclusions. I have tried to highlight, as I told you before, the opportunity, also the pitfalls that are the rain, but overall, I think the prospects are really encouraging. Thank you so much.